You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there's the brilliant and talented, and I don't even know what else to say.
One genius.
Genius. What?
Give me some of that, Rodney.
Michael the Man Coy himself. How are you, brother?
I feel good tonight.
Man, you
Can I
have
tell you? I
pulled
feel
off
good tonight.
an absolute. This is what we've been waiting for.
We have talked about this for a while.
For a long time. And I don't know how you did it, and I don't even want to get into the logistics of how you did it. But now you're watching us from Facebook, the whole show.
Yep.
In its entirety with all the goodies. You're watching us on YouTube.
Yep.
As you normally would.
Yep.
With all the goodies. And you can watch directly off the website. So Mike has pulled off this. Our fingers are crossed that this thing hangs out through the whole show.
We might pop a technical fuse.
Yeah. It might.
We got updates.
Things might start smoking.
This thing's costing us about $1,800 an episode now, so I don't know if you know that or not. So
I can believe it, Mike.
So every word counts.
Make it count.
Make it count.
Make this absolutely count. We're going to need some sponsors pretty dang quick. I'm going to need about 28 sponsors for tonight's show. So you can reach us in a couple different ways. You can ask us a question right directly on Facebook. I can see it. You can ask us a question right directly on YouTube. I can see it. You can shoot us a text. You can give us a call. I mean, there's so many things. Call us at 262-345-7763. You can see it right there at the top. You can hashtag us at hashtag RROR. So there's no reason. There's just absolutely. All you got to do is sign on the internet, and you'll see us, and there's a way to get to us.
If you want to be part of the show.
Especially if you want to be a part of the show.
There's a way for you to be part of the show. So.
Man, how exciting is that? So we've got people watching from all different avenues. We got some on YouTube that go through the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Let's not forget, if you're just driving down the road, you want to hear the show, you can pick us up on iTunes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yep.
I mean, if you're listening to us on the iTunes, we don't give you enough credit. Man, we got a lot of people that just download the iPod directly from iTunes.
You know, it's funny because you forget, because we do.
We do.
We absolutely do. We flash back 4 years ago when we started. We were just audio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Has an audio podcast on iTunes, which is still there.
Yep.
You can still download it and listen to this audio every week. But
absolutely. And then, man, this is so. We've come technically from the little. Remember the table. We just had.
Remember when you used to have to get up and go across the channel and the room and change the channel?
My aunt had a TV. You could
Yeah.
shake the keys and it would change.
Really?
Just shake the keys and something in those keys just changed the channel. It was one of those clicker remotes. You go click, 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 and when the remote broke, I think my uncle walked in and shook his keys and the channel changed, so we all just shook our keys.
Hey, did I hear you say that Joe might be calling in tonight?
So Joe Wilson, our squirrel, I texted him tonight and said, "Hey, squirrel man." He was going to call last week, but he forgot. He thought it was Thursday night show. And the reason he thought it was Thursday night show, because I do a Thursday night Facebook show with Hector. He's got his kids in town, so he's off the show for a while. We just haven't been able to do it. So he goes, so he thought we had a Thursday night show. And I'm like, no.
Did you remind him tonight's Thursday?
So I reminded him. I said, "Hey, squirrel man."
I hope he calls. It's always
so he's going to be calling. Joe
it's
is
a treat like no other.
always a lot of fun. Yeah. But he's up there in the mountains, so we'll get to hear every other word Joe screams out. It'd be like, "Hey, man, there's I'm like, get some, like Brent here says on Facebook, rabbit ears. Remember the rabbit ears? Your parents would tell you, go out there, turn it to the right. Whoa, back up. God dang it, don't take your hands off.
And in all seriousness,
kids today will never understand.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, it really wasn't. It wasn't.
I mean, my child wasn't alive back then.
Right, nor mine.
But it was in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It really does blow your mind when you think what's happened within a span of a generation or even two. You go
Oh, yeah.
2 generations, there's barely
yeah.
cars, I think,
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
And now we got 18 iPads running and phones and
I remember
broadcasting around the world. You are, Rodney.
but around the world. The globe. The whole
Yeah,
daggone-
all of that world.
Someone can reach us now from anywhere in the world, and you can pop on Ray Miller. We got Ray Miller, we got Brent Jackson, we got people on Facebook, and I haven't even switched over to YouTube yet to see who we got over there or what they're saying over there. So we're going to be popping back and forth. Answer question, Mike. This is our 1 hour vacation. You get to hang out with us. And right here in the front, right here on my side, sitting right in front of me, somewhere around this area, 262-345-7763. You can even text us right directly to that number. But now, easiest way to get us is on YouTube or Facebook. We can read those comments.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So I'm trying to think of what I did this week. Happy Father's Day, man! I know I told you Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, it was quick, and I actually had a good Father's Day. So thank you,
man.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and I hope all the fathers out there had a great Father's Day. Not the mothers who were in the father's position, because you had Mother's Day. You got it.
Right. You know what? Speaking of Father's Days and tech,
Yeah.
I get my techie side from my dad. I mean, because he's totally Mr. Techie as well.
I see your dad
yeah,
as
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Techie. Yeah.
So, but I bought him an Amazon Echo or the Dot.
Oh,
which is
yes,
basically,
yes, like the X.
So
yeah.
so and now he's having a ball figuring out what all the
He's not arguing with
Amazon.
it, is he?
Not
I can
yet.
see Bob
I
right
need
now.
I need to check in with him. It's only been 2 days, so
Now, let me just give him. He's got a YouTube channel as well.
he does.
But can we holler it out on here, man?
Sure, yeah.
Would you scream it out for him? I love watching him.
Biblical Insights with Bob.
Check that out. I mean, he's been doing this a long time.
My dad is I'm a PK. My dad's a retired Nazarene pastor, and this has been number one, an invaluable way for my father and me to spend time together.
That says it right there.
Put everything else aside, it's worth it.
Right on. I knew you would enjoy that.
Absolutely. But I go over. We try for every other week to go over and
Right.
and he'll do a Bible study or a topical thing, and I set up a very slimmed down version of this. You know
Right.
what I mean? But I got some stuff over there, but we record it and then he puts it on his YouTube channel and website.
It looks like it's filmed with a $10,000 camera at church, man. I mean,
It is a great day to be alive, technically.
It is. It is. I mean, it really is. It really. We're getting out there right now. People are actually listening to us.
So but thank you for asking.
You got it, man.
It's been fairly quiet on the Rodney Rogers Outdoors Facebook page this last week.
This last week, I didn't do we didn't have a fishing trip this week. I had one tomorrow, but it's been canceled because of weather. We got all these hurricanes coming up the center of the Gulf, which is inadvertently affecting all the wind. We do have one coming up Saturday, this coming Saturday. I have one spot open. So if you want that spot, man, you need to, the minute I put up, I had 3 spots left. It filled up, plam. 2 of them jumped on. Pop in there, grab that spot, send me an email and say, hey, Rodney, I want that spot. So, don't hesitate to pop in there. So we got one spot left for Saturdays at Aventure. And I kind of posted, man, I got so many pictures to post from the fishing thing, Mike. It's going to be a quick show tonight. We're 12 after.
Well, I'm glad you said something about the fishing trip because it's interesting. We've posted several videos of you, on your way into the fishing.
Yeah.
Because once you get out there, it's hard to take that pause.
I've got so much video to process, man. I don't even know how I'm going to do it.
But you have been, I know, a couple trips ago, I think it was 2 trips ago, when Randy and Todd were with you.
Yes.
Randy had taken some GoPro footage, I believe.
Yep.
Because he had it on a chesty.
Yep.
And
Randy, Todd, Hector, we all had some footage. Yeah.
there was GoPros
I think
galore.
the only one that posted was Randy.
Yeah. So I thought, let's grab some of that footage because when I was watching, I thought it's a great representation of somebody who is thinking about going on a trip or not really sure it's a different vibe. And when you only see snippets of it,
Right.
Bottom line, I thought this is great footage to give you a taste of what it's like just to be on the boat.
Absolutely.
It's not polished. It's not, but it's raw footage. So give me a second. I want to roll this tape here. If I can find
Tape?
it.
Do we still call it tape?
Yeah.
Should we say, let's roll these megabytes? Let's roll the gigs.
Let me roll these bits. Can I call them bits?
Yeah, we can call them bits, Mike. We can call them bits. Let's roll the bits, Mike.
Give me
Roll the bits, Mike. Remember when I used to do that? Play the music, Mike.
Remember that time you said roll the bits?
Remember
That
that
was
time?
great, Rodney.
Son of a bitch. There you go.
From the perspective of Randy,
yeah,
right?
He's got the reel down, man. He's like, this fish is coming in and coming up. He did all that, and all he had on there was his bait.
No.
No.
Yeah, so I like the way his line matches his shirt. Was that intentional?
Yeah, it was intentional.
Yeah, that's cool.
I said everybody needs to wear gear that matches the fishing line. Like right here, his reel's just stopped. It ain't going anywhere, but he's reeling. There we go.
Easy.
Yeah, so this is just 2 minutes worth, and I got another. But I thought this is really, number one, the water is really.
The water is so calm.
I think you're fishing on Lake Toho there.
That's exactly what it looks like. I haven't seen it that calm in probably a long, long
On
time.
him? Nope. Yeah.
So he's not stopping. He doesn't realize that his spool's not moving. When the noise stops, so does the fishing line. And he's not grasping this. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
How far out are you right now?
So we're 31 miles right here.
That's amazing. Look at that water.
Let him go. If he goes like this, you take
So
the drag.
when you hear when you hear nothing happening, nothing is happening. When you hear the line clicking, it's either going out or coming in.
Okay. Keep him out of the motor.
I should say I didn't listen to this audio for any kind of profanities, so asterisk there on
There
the.
won't be any bleeping. I don't think anybody curses. I think we did pretty good that day. But the fishing was, look at this. We're going to pull this guy up. There we go. Now he's running.
I don't even know if this video rolls as long to see it get in the boat. That's going to be disappointing. Oh, I see the color. This is where it gets exciting right now when you start to see it come to the surface.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. See it?
Hold on.
Oh. You're going to have to go on a trip to see the rest of it.
You're going to have to see the so there I am. I mean, you can see me with I got this GoPro. I got it in everybody's face. I've got it under the water. It's just a gorgeous day. And we're just yanking in this, and it's me trying to film underwater footage.
But there's how many on the boat total?
There's 7 people, including the captain. So 5 people are fishing, and me. I don't fish a lot when people are going out.
And that's the captain right there that just passed you.
That's Captain Tyler
with
the fired up shirt. So basically, I help the captain bait. Yes, I'm paying like everybody else. I can catch fish the same way, and he just pulled in itty bitty fish, didn't he? Poor little Todd. So, we caught kingfish that day. We caught cobia that day. We caught, we caught so much fish, different species of fish that day. I mean, we caught a ton of fish. So,
I actually didn't mean to cut it short before the payoff. But maybe it's best.
Yeah. You can actually see it on Facebook, on Facebook.
It is. When you start seeing the shimmer of the color.
Oh, yeah. It gets
of
exciting.
the fish on the.
Yeah.
How much can you tell?
What kind of fish it is?
Yeah, or how big even.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of tough. You got to see a lot of fish. Like Captain Tyler could pick it up right away, what kind of fish it was. And, if you see mahi, it's greens and blues and all kind of cool stuff. So it's like you pick that fish up right away. That's an easy fish to pick out. But when it's silver, it's you got to get it up pretty close to know what it is.
Okay.
I know when I filmed the wahoo, we caught a wahoo year before last on Manny's boat. So I filmed it, and it wasn't until after we watched the footage that you could see the fish 80 feet down, way before you could visually see it from the surface. The camera picked it up. We knew right away, but we didn't know it obviously until we saw it on the surface. But
as far as the tension on the rod,
yeah, you can tell.
It takes some experience,
right?
It
does. I mean, you can tell if there's a head shake. You can tell if it's a shark on a pool. I mean, you catch a lot of these fish. You can tell if it's an amberjack. I mean, you can kind of tell what you got on there.
Even by the way it fights.
Even by the way it fights. Even if it's 150 feet down.
A shark has a certain.
Yeah, a shark is like hooking if it's a big shark, it's like hooking the bottom. An amberjack is it runs like crazy. It fights. It's a reef donkey for a reason. So, I just got to give Captain Tyler kudos because he puts out this long shot, huge plug that he just trolls behind the boat, and it's like, just looks like that lure that's never going to catch anything. Well, he popped a wahoo on it today.
Oh, really?
Early today, and man, he posted and he goes, finally, this rig pulls off, paid off. So, man, good job, Captain Tyler.
Wow.
So, but I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and I wanted to play those videos not because to see the catch they pulled in, but just to see the vibe.
Excitement, the vibe.
I mean,
yeah.
Like I say, it's a lot of relaxation, but when it hits,
it's
game on. And
I mean, there was times we had 3 or 4 people reeling at the same time, and
it gets exciting for short periods of time, and then you're back to chilling out again.
And it's not 30 people on this boat.
Yeah,
it's 7 total.
Yeah.
Captain being one person, me being the second person, and 5 people.
That's
I
cool.
like to wear you out.
That's cool, Rodney.
And I reel in the last fish of the day. I try to stay in that last category. So, whew. Mike, we got questions and all that good stuff. What else we got?
I think that's it, Rodney. I think we're going to wrap it up if you don't mind.
All right. Good show, everybody. You know what's cool is everybody on Facebook now gets to see the show directly as everybody else saw it. We couldn't do this before.
Rather than just a preview type of...
Yeah, so if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, or wherever you're watching from, you're all seeing the same show simultaneously at the same time. So this is exciting for Mike and I.
All right, let's talk some top stories, Rodney.
I dare you do it.
All right, number 1. Here we go. I think you know a little bit about this.
I'm on it. Number 1.
Anglers can take advantage of more Gulf red snapper fishing.
Now, a lot of anglers are going to love this, and some anglers are like, move it over to the Atlantic because that's where we're catching a lot of the Gulf. I mean, a lot of the snapper.
Yeah, on June 16th, which was Monday.
Days ago. Yeah,
yes.
Monday, yep.
What's today? Oh, that's Friday. No, that's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
June 16th, an additional 39-day season in the Gulf red snapper fishing. It opens Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I know what you're thinking. I know why you're chuckling, Rodney.
Oh, man, this is code for don't go fishing. You're going to get a ticket.
This is where you need to decode a ring. But okay, so open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. June 16th through September 4th is the season.
Yes.
They've also added Monday and Tuesday, July 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
So if you're out fishing on July 4th weekend, you got Monday and Tuesday as well.
I love you, FWC. I promise I do.
But Tuesday through Thursday, if you're fishing in the Gulf,
Ixnay on the Ishfay.
Ixnay on the Appersnay.
Yes.
Am I right? Am I right?
Here's how easiest way to sort that out. Today we're on the Gulf. What are we fishing for? Let's pick snapper. Let's look at the potential catches. Grouper and snapper. Let's look at the potential grouper we're going to catch. Let's look at the legal limits. Let's look at where we're at and what we're fishing for. It's kind of easy on the Gulf. I know it sounds confusing, but if you're out there fishing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you catch a snapper. Now, here's the catch.
What is it, Ronnie?
State waters.
State waters.
That's the catch. Keep a focus on if you're in state or federal waters. So, does that make sense?
It does. What is it?
9 miles.
9 miles
on the Gulf side, 3 miles on the Atlantic side. Now, on the Gulf side, it goes out to 100. Oh man, this was 150 miles and 100 miles on the Atlantic side. So keep that in mind. If I'm wrong, somebody will yell at me.
All right. High waters. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about low waters.
Yes, we were. In these same areas that they're about to talk about. Yeah, we were talking. When I say low waters, I mean like we had to dig down 100 feet to get water.
Same exact areas, Rodney. But now we're talking high waters.
High waters.
Prompts restrictions for 3 Everglades area wild management areas. Restricted public areas access to Everglades, Francis S. Taylor, Holy Land, and Rottenberger.
Now, do you remember those?
I definitely remember Holy Land.
Yes, those 3 are right there beside each other. We actually, Mike and I...
And Francis Taylor, try to remember that one. Yeah.
Mike and I put 300 miles on a pickup truck without ever hitting a paved road down there.
True that. True that.
When we had the Gator boat. That's when we stayed. We never left the Everglades, actually. We just never left these roads. So, yeah, we were in there pretty heavy.
So effective 12 a.m., June 4th, 14th, when last Wednesday, vehicles, airboats, ATVs, and other public access to the Everglades in these areas are prohibited. The boat ramps and fishing in established canals remains open, but a minimum distance of 100 yards from any tree island must be maintained to minimize disturbance to wildlife.
Next top story, please. Now listen, here's the deal. Mike and I have been to these management areas many times. Unless you're a local, man, you're pretty much not going to go in these areas at all. You are exempt from this. Now the locals know where to go. It can get pretty confusing down there, and
Right.
you know you're pretty much going to be in there with airboats and stuff like that anyway. So
Yeah, and in case the reason they're doing this is because the water levels being so high has added extra stress
that's exactly right
to these animals
to the
because
wildlife.
everything's messed up for them.
We went from nothing
Yeah,
to all of it,
yeah. So
and then some.
so thank goodness there's an agency that is literally considering the
Right.
stress level of these animals.
To put in perspective, the water you're getting here is going to the Everglades from last week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
the water
exactly.
from last week is just getting there pretty heavy. The water from this week will get there next week, and then it'll keep raining. It's just going to keep coming, and that's what the Everglades is there for. And we want to, protect that. And you know what? It's going to be a great time to go to the Everglades. Probably, I bet they're going to be finding pythons like crazy now,
Ooh, yeah.
because they're going to be absolutely trying to get on every piece of
for
dry
sure.
land they can get to. So,
Yep.
going to be awesome. Mike and I are making a trip down there.
Coming soon. Stay
Coming soon.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, Rodney.
This is the best part. Last weekend,
Scalloping.
scallop season started last weekend.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, last weekend. Scallop season started last weekend, the 16th. So,
Correct.
Scallop season is in. There's great reports of scallops all on the West Coast. Crystal River, Steenahatchee has been
Crystal River's a big one, isn't it?
with the wibble.
Crystal River, the very big.
very big wibble. Crystal.
I don't
now
dig
got
you
me
making
doing-
fun of me, Rodney.
Yeah, you got me doing it now. So Crystal River is a huge. It's my favorite is Steenahatchee. Steenahatchee.
Man, your favorite Steenahatchee.
I love you. Did I tell you I loved you, Mike? So Steenahatchee is absolutely one of my favorites. Crystal River is awesome. It's a little easier to get in the Crystal River, so it's a little bit more rural. So there's a lot more people. If you can afford it and you can think about it, go up to Steenahatchee and check that place out. And you got huge areas up there. You can only get out on the Steenahatchee River or the Swanee up there. And man, now keep in mind of the limits of these. So the season starts the 16th, but it's only for Dixie County North.
Oh, right. Yep.
Remember that.
Yep.
Don't get your wires crossed, because you don't want to have a bucket full of scallops and be in the wrong area. So check your area, check the rules, and check your limits before you go out. Great thing, man. If you got a boat, get out there and do it. It is a blast.
Yeah. Now, one thing FWC wanted to remind us of is being safe.
Please, boater safety.
Recognize and use diver down flags and buoys. The flag must be 20 inches by 24 inches. I just realized somebody put the numbers on the wrong side, so don't email me. 20
It's all right. Come on.
20 by 24 inches.
Yes, they did actually.
Yes, they did. I will have their heads, Rodney. Trust me.
Off with our heads.
Off with their heads. And if you're using a floating buoy, it must be 24 inches by 24 inches. And
Yes.
12 inches above the water.
Use as many as you can, honestly.
So actually, this is important. Must be at least 20 by 24 inches, and where it can be observed from 360 degrees around the vessel.
They have a new one out that's a triangle, and you can use that now. Used to, you couldn't use that. You can be seen for three sides.
Right.
That's a new one.
Good point. Yeah.
It's a blow up, and I like it. That's the one I always have.
A flag must have a wire or other stiffener to hold it open, and a buoy can
A
be
little boy.
a buoy can be 3 or 4 sided.
Yes, that's what I was talking.
Yep. All divers must display a diver's down device in the area of which the diving occurs. This is really
Yeah.
Dangerous if you don't
Yeah.
heed this. It is meant to alert boaters to the presence of people under the water surface that you can't see. Duh.
Yeah.
But people are doing that
Yes.
nonsense. All vessels make a reasonable effort to stay 100 feet away from a diver down flag
100 feet.
within a river, inlet, or channel. In open waters, a reasonable effort for 300 feet away from that flag.
I like it.
Of course, divers then in turn need to make sure to stay within that range of your
Yes.
flag, so you're avoiding
Oh, yeah, definitely.
the boats.
Don't get 301 feet out. 'cause
Yeah,
you
we're
will
going to
get-
keep them 100 feet away from you, but you need to stay within 100 feet of the flag.
Absolutely, exactly.
Silly head. Divers
Silly
share the
goose.
responsibility of boating safety with the boater operators. Diving without the diver down symbol displayed or using it for other reasons than to inform others of your presence is illegal.
Yes, it is.
This is not a comedy show, Rodney.
It's awesome. But I'm trying to make it one, Mike.
So anyways, put the flag up.
Put your flag like a pirate flag.
Did we
What
talk
else
about
is
this? Did you talk about this? The regulations?
This was the regulations I was talking about.
I
the
got a
Dixie County
graphic,
North.
so you're going to use it.
Okay, so by gosh, we're going to hit the graphic. Without my glasses, I cannot see the graphic. You guys can see it. Hold on, ready? And all we're drinking is coffee. What was that? Okay, so June 16th. Wow. Okay, till September the 10th. Now Muttley over there is just coming at me
Wait,
with his best laugh.
You got to look in the camera. Tally lights on, Rodney.
These are eyeglasses, by the way. Oh, look how cool I look, Mike. What up, Shelvin?
Okay, back to the...
Okay, so July 1st, the regular season starts. So the June 16th through July 1st was the Dixie County, that whole northern area there with Dixie County, the 3 counties that the scallop season is in. July 1st, it opens up till September 10th or September 24th for the rest of the state. So all their areas open to harvest bay scallops in Zone 3. So keep an eye on that. Like I said,
go to FWC website. It's all
just
up there.
go to FWC. But we want to make you aware. We really do. I'd hate, if you get a ticket this weekend, let us know because dying to see who got the ticket.
Because, yeah.
Hopefully it's not off of our advice.
If you need to just laugh about it, this is the place.
Yeah, just tell them you heard about it on Rodney Rogers Outdoors. They go, yeah, we know those guys. We've gotten a lot of calls.
They're on our radar.
We are not.
Oh, Rodney.
I got a call that says Squirrel Man.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Is this a Squirrel Man?
Man, by God, you got me.
Joe, how are you, buddy?
Man, I'm having the time of my life. Are we on the radio yet?
We are live as it gets. You know what, Joe? It's funny you call because we have a trifecta going on. We've got the YouTube, we got the Facebook, and we got it live on Rodney Rogers Outdoors. And so it's the whole spiel here. I mean, it's literally the whole thing. How are you, Joe?
Surround sound.
And surround sound.
Man. I'm doing fabulous, Rodney. Man, it's good to hear you.
It's good to hear you, brother, man. We cannot wait to September to get up there and see you and have a beer with you and see exactly what you got going on. Tell us exactly what you have going on.
Oh, well, this year on September 16th, we'll have the 6th annual World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off, as seen on one of them Rodney Rogers Outdoors YouTube videos.
This guy's good. He's good.
We've got kind of a new location this year. We've moved it a couple blocks over, and the reason being is we're going to have more freedom. We're going to have 4 bands playing from crack of dawn until late in the evening. We've got a new brewery that started up, so there'll be some color of beer there. It may not be what we like to drink, but there will be some beer on site. It's all covered. We're going to have canopies all around.
Oh, really?
People
Okay.
don't have to set up canopy. There's plenty of power, and it's a culinary school. And
wow.
so we
Okay.
have all kinds of things working for us. But I tell you what, man, we've got people signing up all the time. Just yesterday, I signed up a team from Ontario, Canada, and we've got a team coming from Maine. We've got a team coming from Oregon, and I don't know about this Florida, but I'm hoping we get 1 or 2 or 3 teams from Florida out of the deal.
I'll tell you, I've got a couple guys. One guy, before I even met you, Joe, used to brag about his squirrel recipe. And I spoke to him. His name is Adam, and I spoke to him not too long ago. And I said, bro, you have got – now, he's a chef. He's actually a chef at Universal Studios in Orlando. And you know, and squirrel is literally – this dude has a passion for squirrel almost as high as yours. You know, and
Does he live on a squirrel dairy as well?
That's the only place you got him, dog, is on that squirrel dairy. Every time I see you post. You know what was funny is Mike and I watched your live video the other day with you with that squirrel just on your porch. And I said, that squirrel don't even know how lucky.
Oh, man. You know, it's crazy. This thing has been really successful, and guys like the two of you coming out helps us grow, and we become exactly what we planned on being. We're showcasing how all wild game, from the sea to the river to the woods to the trees, can be table fare. I think we're getting the word out, doing it properly, and it's an amazing thing. And like I say, it's all based off of guys like you and these other radio guys across the country who let us get on the radio and talk about this amazing cook-off.
This is an absolute first-class event. And I don't know if I'm going to speak for Mike, but I believe I will. We were absolutely surprised on what a first-class event this really was, Joe. And I know we spoke about it that night. We sat at your place that night and just absolutely told hunting and fishing stories till the wee hours of the morning. But, I mean, it was Mike and I, I'm going to give our budget. We flew up there, stayed 2 days, and flew back for less than $300 a piece.
Yeah. I
mean, we didn't try to spend the least amount of money because we bought a ton of stuff. We ate at the coolest places. Yeah. I mean, and if you're thinking about this, my gosh, Joe, it's an event you can't miss. Sorry, I just
and there's plenty of there's plenty of stuff to do while you're out here. I remember seeing you standing in a Walmart parking lot trying to buy the lure to catch a smallmouth.
But I did. I will not miss that opportunity this year. I learned a lot, and I'm coming back, dude. I'm coming back for that smallmouth.
Well, you know what? Whenever you get here, a friend of mine's actually a smallmouth guide on the creek, and I'll hook you up with him, and maybe you could do a promo of his guide service, and he'll carry you out and catch something. But, hey, I tell you, we got fine art museums. We've got fine people. We've got great food. You know, the weather may play with us. You know, in September, you never know. It may be 60 degrees. It may be 90, but it's going to be nice. And it's a family-run event. I mean, we have kids of all sizes. We've got people walking dogs and riding bicycles. It's just fun. And I think Florida needs to be represented, not only by your team, but by a few other teams. And you guys come out here and show your flag, man. Show us who you are.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Mike.
Joe, I got a question for you. Out of your years of doing this, obviously some of the things that get highlighted are some of the more unique fare of squirrel that goes on. But from you personally, I mean, obviously you've tasted a lot of this, probably not all of it, but what is some of your favorite dishes or most unique dishes that have really stuck with you?
Hey, it's good hearing from you, Mike. I tell you, I kind of really enjoy the traditional stuff. You know, the Cajun style dishes and things like that. What we would call country cooking seems to resonate with me the most. All the exotic, fancy stuff is amazing. And to be honest with you, I think taste-wise, you know, our panel of judges, I think you all met some of our judges last year. You know, these judges, they eat barbecue, they eat chicken fried steak, they eat all this stuff all the time. And when someone comes in with a squirrel sushi, you know, that kind of stuff kind of catches them off guard. I think for unique hey, you've got it.
Right.
But
right.
for absolute flavor and tenderness and all the other things that we're judging off of, I think more of a traditional dish is the way to
Yeah.
go. I don't want to pull the reins back on anybody from going next level. Let me tell you about some of the judges I have coming this year. I have the president of the National Barbecue Association. He's
Oh,
coming
wow.
from Olive Branch, Mississippi. He's going to be sitting on the judging table. I've got a lady from Australia named Saffron. She's a bush cook. She's
Oh, wow.
traveled to Africa and all over the places learning how to build fires and do traditional style cooking. She actually brought barbecue competition to Australia. She's one of our judges. We've got a James Beard guy who's going to be one of our judges. So we'll have a whole aspect. So to answer your question, Mike, you know, our judging panel is so diverse that anything can win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is actually. I think I remember first place last year was actually raviolis, squirrel raviolis.
Which was good. I actually
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what was cool about that, Rodney, is those guys are pediatricians from Oklahoma City.
No way.
You know, they, yeah,
That's
it's a
cool.
group of doctors who work with kids all the time, and they've got a great story. They love helping kids, and they started cooking in our event 4 years ago, and they finally won last year, and that shows you what try will do in life. It'll get you what your goal was.
You know, and we tasted. Oh my gosh, you know what? We still have video we haven't even had time to look at yet. And I know it's been almost a year. We're coming up on a year, and man, Mike shot so much footage that it's just amazing. And you can we have a couple sneak peeks on our website.
You know, my biggest hey, Joe, who does the T-shirts for these?
That's me.
Is it really?
Well, that I do the main T-shirts for the event, and then I give the opportunity to all the cooking teams that they could sell T-shirts as well.
That's great.
And I just ask that they make a donation off those T-shirts to our charity.
Mike
So
and I.
that gives.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Mike,
well, I know you got a whole closet of them, didn't you? Ron?
well, we unfortunately what we
Here's
do.
a story, Joe.
We had to buy everybody else's because we looked at your table of T-shirts, man, and they were like stacked knee high, and we thought, we can get this
We'll
later.
come back.
We'll come back.
Let's get some footage.
Let's get some footage, and,
Yeah.
and we don't want to lug a T-shirt. Boy, that blew up in our face.
That will not happen again.
Because when we went back, I think there was kid sizes,
Yeah.
small.
Kid sizes and tent sizes.
and,
Those are the
and
only
tent
choice.
sizes,
That's true.
exactly. And we were like SOL here.
Yeah.
So we won't make
Yeah.
that mistake again, I assure you. We
Well,
definitely
I
won't.
tell you, the T-shirts is really the only way that I can make a donation to charity, is because I'm not a guy who's trying to make money on this deal. I'm just trying to support veteran groups that we support through this charity, which
Right.
is Sheepdog, and Sheepdog is a military, fire, police, EMS support group that helps all these people with whatever issues they have. And then I've got a second charity that's called Wings for Our Troops. They fly soldiers home whenever the soldier doesn't have the money to come home from Afghanistan
Wow.
or Iraq or wherever we decided to fight that week.
Yeah.
And so that's where all of my money goes. Every T-shirt that's sold, the money from those T-shirts go to these charities. And you would think 1,000 T-shirts would last a little bit, but I get an hour. Or so
Yeah. I was like, I swear it seemed like 15 minutes. Because, and Mike looked at me and was like, hey, maybe we ought to get a T-shirt. And I looked back there, and I said, you know what? You're right, Mike. And we go back, and that was it. We're done. It's getting
Heck, there wasn't even any more Bob's Butt Wipes.
No,
for an hour and a half.
exactly.
That being said, nice job on the T-shirts.
Yeah.
They're really keepsakes.
They are
so
keepsakes,
when you're
actually,
tending,
yeah.
go for the T-shirt vendor first. Get your
T-shirt.
Get your T-shirt.
Yeah, don't mess around.
Yeah.
Just get your T-shirt and then move on from there. And then,
Yeah, I seen you're plugging Bob's Butt Wipes now, aren't you?
We're trying to. We're trying to plug as much as we can for Bob. I actually had lunch with him. He was here a couple weeks ago. I got to sit down and had lunch with him. Of course, we talked about old Joe Wilson. And is he set up with you to go back up there this year?
I haven't talked to Robert, but I tell you what, for a man who sells wet toilet paper for a living. This guy travels nonstop.
I know, dude. I know. I'm like, dude, how do I get in this business? You know what I mean?
It seems like when I follow him on Facebook, man, he's in New York selling wet toilet paper. He's in California selling wet toilet paper.
You know what? As funny as it is, Joe, my truck is not without that dude's wife. I'm telling you now, he has saved me more than you know.
I'm within feet of it. If you do the complete combo, let me tell you what the complete combo is to make your Bob's butt wipe experience the best. You need a squatty potty. You put a squatty potty there. You get your Bob's butt wipe, and then I'm a big fan of a unit called the Swash 1000. This is a bidet that will hook up the e-toilet.
Oh, really?
If you get these 3 units together, hey, it's clean living.
It is.
Literally.
It's just like home. So, I mean, it's funny you say that because not only does Bob's have their Bob's butt wipes, I need to shoot a commercial for this, Joe. If you could see me now, you'd see me holding up a box right here on the video. You can watch it later with a big smile. You, too, should have Bob's butt wipes with you at all times, especially at the Squirrel Cook-Off.
You know how that relationship started? Is one day I was just cruising through the internet and come across a Bob's butt wipe commercial, and so I thought, what goes better with squirrel than a clean butt? And so I sent his company an email with that statement. Nothing goes better with squirrel than a clean butt. And it was about 10 minutes. I got a phone call back.
I believe this to be a true story.
And it was the secretary said Bob would like to speak to you.
Like now.
I said, hell, I'd like to speak to Bob. And so we had a conversation there for a little bit. He asked what I was after, and I said, I'm after a clean butt, Bob. And I think everybody who comes to the event's after the same thing.
How could he refuse?
Yeah, a month later, he showed up with 6 cases of butt wipes, and a friendship was born.
Absolutely. It was funny, Bob, and I kind of met the same way.
I tell you what, man, there ain't nothing better than when you're fishing with a guy and know the guy next to you's got a nice clean butt on it, because it just makes the day a lot better.
Exactly.
Hey, Rodney, I just come back from Alaska on my fishing trip.
Right.
And one thing that would have made that better would have been a case of these Bob's butt wipes, because I had 2 guys on this trip that were the stinkingest fools I've ever been with in my life. I felt bad for the whole airplane, not just the person next to them.
Absolutely.
And, hey, I drove 40 miles to get a bottle of Febreze to spray on these guys' clothes as they were sleeping.
Holy
and it was worth every penny. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you, I spent a lot of times in the Everglades, and I've got 2 or 3 boxes of this in my truck, and it's just, no matter who I take down to the Everglades, they go, oh, I got to use the bathroom. We're way out here, and I go, pardon me, I happen to have some Bob's butt wipes. Would you like the bidets
or under your cape?
And they always look at me with this down look, like they're pulling their glasses down, looking at me, and I go, yeah, I use them quite a bit, actually.
The part that separates a Bob's butt wipe from a standard baby wipe is you don't have to walk into the store afterwards smelling diaper fresh. You still smell like a man.
Right, exactly. Right? That's so true, actually.
So I think Bob should roll with that for a little while.
That's the perspective right there.
Absolutely, man. So, okay, so now, I'm sorry, we got off on a tangent here on old Bob's. But
that's a good, worthwhile tangent, though.
Yes, it was a worthwhile tangent. There was something I was going to ask you. So, do you expect more people this year than you had last year? I mean, because this stuff, it seems like it's growing literally quite a bit every single year.
Boy, I sure hope we get more people than we did last year. I mean, that's the evolution of the event. I hope that it continues to grow. And the only thing that we're stagnant on is it's so tough to get sponsorship for cooking squirrels.
Right. Oh, yeah, I
It's
can
just-
imagine.
It's a tough deal. You won't see any mainstream sponsorship of cooking fluffy little squirrels. They'll sponsor stuff cooking chickens and pigs and everything else, but when it
Right.
comes to squirrel, hey, that's where we draw the line.
Right.
So the sponsorship that I have this year, I have a seasoning company, Townsend Spice, that's going to donate spices to all the teams. They're actually going to give a rebirth to our squirrel salt that we were selling years ago, which is an all-purpose seasoning. They're coming back out with that.
Okay.
And, we've been in some test and development to give people the perfect seasoning for any rodent or other sort of protein. We also, there's a camouflage or an outdoor clothing company based out of Northwest Arkansas, and it's called Habit. They sell real tree stuff, mossy oak stuff.
Right.
They're going to sell all of their samples and seconds and all of that the day of the event, and the money we raise from that camouflage sale is going to go to our charities, which is a great deal. And I'm talking, you get a $50 coat for $10.
Right.
And so that's going to drag in some more people. Plus, we got beer and music, man. I got Jumpsuit Jamie going to play. I've got that's our Cajun band. I've got a blues
I was
band.
wondering if old Jumpsuit was going to be there this year. I was looking forward to
Oh, hey, well, now he's in style. I mean, in the past, his jumpsuits have just been him. But now, since those what do they call those things? A onesie or whatever men are wearing around.
Right.
Jumpsuit's the one who started that deal, man.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
He's been wearing a jumpsuit for 40 years and playing an accordion. So
He was the
Jumpsuit's
guy
gonna
there
be
last year,
singing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had
okay.
his jumpsuit on last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
he wears that what do they call the pinstripe stuff?
it's actual called pinstripes, right? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Nah,
We're not up on that
Yeah,
fashion
they-
stuff.
That's we've been out of
You're
you're
that.
not
asking
into
the wrong
the
guys.
onesies, Mike.
What's that?
Well, I said you're not into the onesies.
Not
you
yet,
don't do
but I need to look it over one more time.
I will tell you this, Joe. I gained 3 more pounds. I will be in the onesies. I assure you. It's just
we're all there. We're all there, Rodney. I'm in the same boat, man. But we have a blues band playing. We got a Cajun band playing. We got a bluegrass band, and believe it or not, somehow squirrel and reggae seems to go together. So I'm bringing in. I'm bringing in a reggae band.
I don't know why, but that works.
Hey, you know what? Anything goes with squirrel. So have anybody who's listening to this deal who has a product to sell, let me just tell you, your product goes well with squirrel.
Absolutely.
And you may not ever have realized it, but I'm here to tell you that you take your product and my thing, we mix them together, and magic will happen.
That's it every
So-
time.
Big time. So, and then, of course, we got Joe Martinez. He'll be doing
My
magic
man.
tricks and all the stuff that he can do during the event. And, he may not be a national name right now, but soon to be. And so Joe will be helping me MC the event. And then, like I say, we got star-studded judging panel. There'll be beautiful women and fat guys all over this.
Yes.
So,
Staring at the particularly beautiful women.
Where do I sign?
does it not sound like it should be someone's anniversary trip? I mean, if
Sounds
it's
like
your
my family
25th
reunion.
Anniversary, tell your wife, hey, we're going to the Squirrel Cook-Off in Arkansas. There's going to be a reggae band, fat guys and beautiful women. She'll say, sign me up.
Sign me
And,
up.
Can we bring the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be a 50-year-old guy playing an accordion in a onesie. I mean, that's
Anything below that is welcome.
So, yeah. So if a listener is listening right now and think, hey, maybe I won't fit in at this deal, I say that's nonsense. You're going to fit in because we got one of everything at this deal. So, but, yeah, y'all come out, and if you need anything, I'm talking to you, Rodney. If you get here and you don't want to carry any sort of cooking stuff, I've got you covered.
Now we're
there's
talking.
plenty of stuff.
I'll tell you what, Joe. You and I
Yeah.
will talk off air, and maybe that might be the route. My fear is, hauling stuff up and all this stuff. So maybe I could you and I could put some stuff together there, and we could pull this off.
You bet. I
on
mean,
a
I've-
serious
I've
talk.
got plenty of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Joe, I don't want to rush this event through, but I cannot wait to hang out with you guys again. Joe Martinez and you and Mama and the whole family and the group of guys that we absolutely fell in love with the last time we were there telling stories.
It was a snapshot of life.
It was.
I mean, it
a
really was
snapshot
one of
life.
those
It was-
snapshot. Yeah, I loved it.
And so, like I said, I don't want to rush it through, but I cannot wait for that moment because I know you're going to have something afterwards. But, man, if you had one thing to say about this place, what would you say, brother?
Hey, I'm going to tell everybody that this is something that doesn't happen anywhere. It's happening here. And so I'll just tell you, if you have a passion for the outdoors, if you like good food and you're not scared to try something, come this year on September 16th to the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off in Bentonville, Arkansas, USA, and enjoy America.
Amen, brother. That is the most American town I believe I've ever put my feet in.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say when it hung up, but I'll say with Joe on the line, I mean, I don't know what perceptions run through your mind, but the town just said it all. I mean, the town square. I mean, it's a nice town, but that immediate town square, there's some great restaurants there.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's about as I don't want to say down home because that gives it the wrong impression. It's a very contemporary, clean. It's a nice downtown.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great facility to have a squirrel cook-off.
It's our Norman Rockwell painting.
That's exactly right.
Really is.
That's exactly right. And Mike and I said it the first morning we ate breakfast there. When everybody was setting their cell phones on their tables to hold their seats, Mike and I were like, if that was in Orlando, you wouldn't have a cell phone. You couldn't even call 911 in about 5 minutes.
That's right.
And that's what everybody was doing, putting their cell phones in a chair
And
to
then
save
going
their
up and
seat.
getting in line.
And then going up and getting in line. And I'm like, I've never stolen, but I
but
felt
we
like I
made good
should.
money off those cell phones on eBay after that.
I felt like I should just go around and back up, leave the town.
Hey, well, let me tell you, hey, we missed out on the most important thing. The most important thing is there's a whole bunch of animals and there's a whole bunch of fish out there that's ready to be caught or hunted. There's some fish that folks in Florida is going to call trash fish, but I tell you what, you put a hook in front of their mouth and they're going to bite it. We need to take our kids out, our youth out. We need to take anybody. If you know a veteran who's sitting at the house not doing anything and they're just getting lonelier by the day, take them out and take them fishing.
Absolutely.
Or take them out and take them hunting. This is an opportunity that we're skilled in. We know the trade. We know how to hunt. We know how to fish. And there's so many people out there who would love to have the memories that we gain all the time. So take a kid out hunting. Take a kid out fishing. Taking the elderly out. They lose their friends all the time. And this is just a moment in our life that's easy to pass on.
That's exactly
we
right.
need to take the opportunity to do it.
Joe, I run on a premise that, a lot of people go, well, why don't I get more kids involved and run more kid events? And here's my premise, and I think it's inadvertently the same. My premise is when I take mom and dad fishing, and with the kid, if I can get mom and dad excited about it again, you know what I mean? Most people I've taken out have lost the interest, or maybe they were never successful, and I'm getting people cranked back up, man. I mean, the moms and dads, and they're inadvertently, pulling the kids in. And I think that's kind of where it lies. I can teach a 7-year-old boy how to fish, but if his dad and mom don't want to take him, he's kind of stuck in a rut. So,
yeah, you're exactly right. But I think one of the big problems in the entire industry is we have these target species.
Yes.
They're obviously not the easiest stuff to catch.
That's exactly right.
We need to resort back to the stuff that got us into it. That's that
the
old brim,
bluegills, the
the
catfish.
bluegill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the stuff that's simple. Now, there may not be industry money in that because all you need is a hook and a worm or a hook and a piece of liver or whatever the heck it is. But that's the stuff that gets kids addicted to the outdoors. And if you're addicted to the outdoors, you don't have enough money to get addicted to something that's bad.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So we need to spend time on things that may not be the money maker.
That you're right,
But
Joe. You're right.
And I think that's the goal behind it. I think the industry's missing out on a bunch of stuff. And, guys like you, Rodney and Mike, you guys can preach it. That's what I try to do. I think we all need to get simpler in life and sit back and show this skill. We didn't learn on a marlin. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
That wasn't the first fish you went out and caught, but a lot of people, their one trip out is on a boat where they went out to marlin fish, they drove around, spent a lot of diesel fuel, and never caught anything.
That's exactly
Fishing
right.
sucks.
We just had a guy post on our Facebook, Donnie Allen, just said, "Hey, Rodney, my 9-year-old daughter caught her first bass all by herself on Father's Day, 3 pounds and 2 ounces." I mean, that's the excitement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is and I tell everybody, if you got a 5-year-old kid that just don't want to fish a pole in his hand, put a minnow net in his hand and put him on the edge of that lake and watch what happens. I mean,
hey, I'll tell you this. I think that all those fish that guys get mounted and put on the wall, I guarantee you a picture with the kid and that brim put on the wall 20 years from now is going to mean a lot more than that old stuck fish.
You're exactly right, man. You are so right, Joe.
That's right.
Well, dang it, Joe, man. This time runs so short for us, man. And I'm telling you, man, you ever get Mama riled up, bring the kids down to Florida, we're going to pile you up in Universal Studios, and we're going to have you on the show and just hang out for a night.
Very good. Well, hey, I'll let y'all go. I appreciate the opportunity, Rodney, and we'll talk in the future.
Absolutely, brother. Give everybody a hug for us, man.
All right.
See you, brother. Woo. Man, that's always a fun talk right there, Mike. I feel like we should have fireworks going off and sign off the show. And his mom, and it's just...
he's about as authentic as it gets, Rodney.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how you hear him here is how you hear him in person.
Yeah, I mean, he's
absolutely a blast.
He's about as real as it gets.
Yeah, it's just... I can't wait, man.
I just got totally stoked up for September 16th, right?
September 16th.
Go on the calendar.
And I'll tell you, if you're in our audience and you're listening, I mean, I know we don't have a giant audience, but we do got people that just are spontaneous. Let us know if you're interested in going, and we'll tell you the flights that we book. We literally,
figure it out. Maybe
I think we stayed in the same room. We split everything up. We spent like $300 a person.
It wasn't. Yeah, we did it. We did it right.
We did it right. I mean, you searched on Hopper, the app Hopper.
Yeah.
You got us a cheap flight. I think we flew over there for like $160 round trip.
We did, yeah, because we watched for it.
We watched for it, and we'll tell you the apps we use. We'll tell you the hotels we're checking into.
Yeah, there's apps that or these services and online that watch it, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what
I got
happened.
an alert saying, "Hey, Rodney, I called you. It's down $160," and the app said you should take advantage of this, and we took advantage of it. And
I mean, I used that same app to fly San Francisco for $260.
Next thing you know, we're in Bentonville, Arkansas.
We're in Bentonville, Arkansas, man. And meeting the most we felt like we were home the minute we walked in there, man. I know we're running out of time, Mike.
But I love that because the people who are watching and friends of ours and friends of the show, Joe is that person. He's one of us. He's just he's a good guy. He's a guy you want to sit down and just shoot the breeze with.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
It's just a brother from another mother.
That's right.
So, and then Ray said, if you take a kid catching, he will learn to fish.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. The thing I love, and I'll let you say your sign off.
No, you're good.
But his passion for really he brings it back.
Yeah.
To what the Squirrel Cook-Off
is about
and why he started in the first place, and he's really got a passion and the benefits and about getting the kids involved and back to the basics and sustainable
what I like about him, everybody's so politically correct nowadays. They're afraid to say they're a hunter. They're afraid to say they keep fish to fillet. They're afraid to say the things that they do in the outdoors because everybody's so to get ridiculed and pounded on the internet. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
This is, man, we were founded on this. I'm a hunter. I'm a fisher, and I say it all the time. If you do not like that, now would be a great time to exit off to Facebook because this is what we do.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to do it. So, Joe, I appreciate you for what you're doing, man. You can't. You're definitely a scholar of what you're doing and a role model, man. So man, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
And we cannot wait to see you. And without further ado, you got to watch us on 3 channels tonight, and it went flawless. Mike, congratulations.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much. You worked so hard at that.
Thumbs up to us.
Yeah, thumbs up
Go,
to
go
us.
us.
And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much. And I love you, Mom, for every word of it. You kids get outside and stay.